Hello everyone, this is the VR month in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Unique event of its genre in this country. It is the first that is going to be held in the city of Goma in the eastern part of Congo. Amazing place. There will be different type of event. There will be live events where we will have to gather together to have this immersive experience. There will also be an online event where we are gathering different profile, the top of the notch of Africa. They will come from Egypt to Kenya, from Nigeria. They will be talking to you about a wide range of topics, unique topics, from how to build a studio to how to build content and how to immerse people in this kind of VR, what is happening in the metaverse and how to develop it. I'm inviting all of you to join this event. We will share with you this link where you can go and register so that you can be part of this event. We welcome all of you and we can't wait to see you.
Hello everyone, so welcome to the last session of the VR which is happening today. Today we have two speakers. First of our speakers is going to be Arome Ibrahim from Nigeria. So round of applause for Arome from wherever you are. So this is the VR which we've been hosting since Tuesday. So it emphasizes on the VR industry, what we're doing here in Africa, and we also showcase different works and people from different countries here in the continent. So today we have Arome from Nigeria. So without further ado, I bring to you Arome. He's going to actually brief us a little bit more about how to launch into the VR AR industry. So welcome, Arome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, I'm very good.
Very good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So the speakers are about to hear from you. So I'm going to to give you the stage. It's all yours.
Okay, that's fine. Hello everyone. My name is Arome Ibrahim. I'm based in Abuja, Nigeria. Super glad to be here to share with you guys how to get started with virtual and augmented reality. I hope you all are staying safe. And so permit me to share my slides. So please confirm if you can see my slides. Hello? Okay, I hope you can see my slides, right? So hello everyone, my name is Arome Ibrahim. I am based in Abuja, Nigeria. I run an XR startup called Experis Immersive. I also run an XR community initiative called Immersive Tech Africa. So I want to thank Institut de Francais and Buzo Technologies for giving me this opportunity to share with you guys how to launch a career in VR and AR here in Africa and also across the world. And I'm super glad to have or to hear that VR is coming to DRC. So DR Congo is having a VR space they can call their own. And it will be a great opportunity for everyone. If you're a newbie, you're a creative, to just build a solution. You can build a startup or you can connect with creatives across Africa and also in DRC. So first off, I'll be sharing a little bit about myself. So my story is I got into XR about 4 years ago. I attended the Facebook VR event here in Abuja, and I had the opportunity to wear the Oculus Go VR headset. And since then, the journey has been amazing. I've been able to build a startup. I've been able to support other people to learn about XR and also support the XR industry in terms of data, in terms of analysis and curating the XR space on the continent to show or showcase it better to the rest of the world. I'm a product manager, so I manage XR related projects. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm passionate about immersive technologies and also how these technologies can transform Africa, not just for gaming, but for education, arts and culture, tourism, right? So that's just me. Should I say, I call myself a geek because I'm passionate about anything that relates to technology. So my company is called Experis Immersive. We're close to 3 years now, and we have been working with businesses to implement VR, AR, 360 VR experiences. We are passionate about this technology. We're a team of 11, and we also support businesses to implement XR solutions for education, arts and culture, and also online experiences. So if you're in West Africa or across Africa and you're looking to implement or adopt XR solutions into your products and services, you should definitely reach out to us. So my story is simple. I'm passionate about community building, right? So I support initiatives in Africa and also across the world. And two passionate projects I've been working on so far is the XR Innovation Week and also the African XR Report, right? So the XR Innovation Week is a virtual event whereby I invite some of the best creators, content developers, enthusiasts building solutions with VR and AR here in Africa. I also support them by sharing their resources, sharing their content. So it's a 1 week event, a very fun event whereby we just share what we're building and try to inspire amazing creatives on the continent. And another project I've been working on is the Africa XR Report. It's the first of its kind on the continent. And what we're trying to do is to properly document the XR space in Africa, right? To show which startup is doing well, which startup needs resources, the amazing products and the amazing experiences that are being built by startups, and also see how we can support them with connecting them with resources, funding, and also external connections where needed to support their projects. So these are two projects I've been working on so far alongside my team. Yeah, so these are some stats of the Extra Innovation Week. It's a, should I say, 3 days event, but next one will be a 1 week event. We had close to 500 participants that attended the virtual event in 2021. 24 speakers. Buzo Tech was also represented there. We had 8 industry verticals, and it was a 3-day event, right? So the next one will be coming up later in the year, right? So you should also look forward to it. If you're interested in this technology, you should attend this event virtually. So these are some pictures from the event. It's more like us having fun, nothing serious, just everybody sharing their experiences, sharing their journey. We had some of the best in the world coming to join us. We had Jeremy from PwC, we have Judith from Missy 3D, we have Priscilla from OV all the way from Australia. She joined us, right? It was an amazing experience, and I can't wait for you guys to join us for the next edition. If you want to watch the recorded sessions, you could just check out this link. It's available on YouTube, and you could just watch the previous edition and prepare for the next one. So concerning the Africa XR report, so this report is a partnership between so many industry leaders here in Africa, industry ecosystem supporters actually. We have Electric South, Missy 3D, we have Immersive Tech Africa, and a lot more, even some organizations in Eastern Africa. So what we're doing is to try and leverage on our network to document our own spaces and have a report that can showcase the growth of the XR industry. And so far, we have gotten like a preview of data that we sourced from respondents, and the data we got has been amazing. For example, we were able to survey that a chunk of XR developers here in Africa were basically from South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Nigeria, right? Close to 70% of that. So it shows the spread of XR across Africa, not just in a single region. We had from North Africa, Eastern Africa, Southern Africa, and the rest, right? So XR is actually growing, and it's super amazing. Also, we surveyed opportunities being part of the community or flying solos. So, right, in terms of opportunities, we're able to ask respondents what they feel are the opportunities for XR in Africa. And majority say XR will play a huge impact in education, gaming, architecture, and healthcare, right? Which is very, very important here in Africa. We also surveyed the participants, and most of them gave us feedback on most of them are already part of the community, which is good because you need resources, you need hardware to support your development. And we also noticed that most of the respondents were majority freelancers, right? Most of them don't have a formal XR employment on the continent, right? So it's something we would love to see change, right? We want to see more startup more organizations supporting and also funding XR startups and XR solutions on the continent. So if you need more info about this report, you can just go to the africaxrreport.com. So moving on to some project I've been working on. This one is very dear to my heart. It's basically me giving back to the community, just like how I started. I attended the meetup. So this is me creating a meetup alongside my team and supporting people that want to learn. So it's called the XR Innovation Bootcamp. It's a 1 month bootcamp that pairs XR enthusiasts with speakers, with industry experts and mentors to support their journey, right? So we noticed people love XR. They want to learn about XR. I guess everybody on this call, right, except for the experienced one, they want to learn about this technology, but they don't know how to, right? So I'm glad Institut de Francais and Guzo Tech have so far launched a hub in Goma, DRC. So for people that want to learn about this tech, they now have a space they can call their own, right? So this bootcamp is something we are working on with our partners here in Nigeria to mentor and also train enthusiasts. So it's also virtual. So if you're interested in joining us, you can join virtual and learn how to build amazing solutions. So in terms of projects, it has been fun so far. So me and my team we have been working on a couple of projects. This one is very dear to also our heart. It's called Virtuality Africa. It's a digital museum of African arts and culture. The project was selected for the Digital Lab Africa Part 5 award. So we basically won the award for the best XR project representing arts and culture. And for us, we are trying to work with local museums, right? So notice museums have sculptures and collections that are deteriorating by the day. Nobody's documenting it. We don't have enough information or stories about them, right? So what we're doing is we're partnering with this museum to digitize their collections, right? And these collections can be available online for millions of people across the world to learn about the African arts and culture, right? It's something very, very passionate that I'm passionate about actually. And so far, we have gotten two amazing museums and galleries here in Nigeria and also in Kenya that we're going to be partnering with for the pilot of this project. So this is the first partner, the EMC Shalom Museum of Arts and Culture Lagos. These are some of their artworks on display. We have the Fair Bronze Head, the Benin bronze head also, right? So some of these collections are just there, right? And we want to create accessibility, we want to boost yes, sorry. I hear you, sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, just give me a sec. Okay, I've solved it. Can you see my screen? Okay, give me a second. Can you see now? Okay, it's fine. Okay, great. So sorry about that tech issues, right? So basically, this is one of the partners we'll be working with. It's the largest private art museum here in Nigeria, and they are super excited about the project also. The second partner is the Orioshun Art Gallery. It's one of the largest art gallery here in Abuja. They have amazing collections, right? So what we're doing is we'll be digitizing their collections into 3D. The project is already underway, and we're basically going to be creating the largest and robust 3D collections of African arts and culture. So we're super excited about it. Also, a project that we worked on was the MC Shylon 360 VR Museum project. This happened during the pandemic. The museum was on lockdown. They were trying to reach out to people to visit the museum virtually. Right? So we partnered with them and created a robust and dynamic virtual tour experience of the museum. It was fun, right? And they had close to 10,000 collections on display. So imagine giving accessibility to 10,000 artworks to people that have never visited Africa before or never visited Nigeria before, an opportunity to learn about our culture. And the impact was amazing. We had close to 15,000 people visiting this store online from the analytics we saw. I'll be sharing with you guys like a preview of it, how it look like, and you can access the tour on the website of the museum if you're free. So it's dynamic. You could use your mobile phone, you could use your PC, you can also use a VR headset, right, to access the content. And we also made sure we partnered with them to tell the story about each artwork, right? So if you click on an icon, you can learn about each individual artwork you display and what makes it unique, right? It's super good for any museums on the continent to adopt this experience. Yeah, so moving on to the session of the day, I'll be talking with you guys on how to properly launch a career in the VR AR industry. And before we get started, I want to share with you guys some key terminologies or the differences between virtual and augmented reality technology. I know you guys must have been hearing about VR, AR, right? If possible, MR, right? So there are different acronyms for the medium, right? So it's good for you guys to have a good knowledge of it. So the first part is virtual reality, right? So I remember when I wore the VR headset, right? Like when I had the VR headset on me, it was fun and it was cool, right? So when I wore it, it was something more like a life-changing opportunity for me because I was able to go on a virtual tour of the Taj Mahal in India. It's something I've never done before. So imagine having an experience that can transform you to another location without you having a visa, without you entering the plane or going there, right? So that's the kind of experience VR gives, right? So VR basically is more of your virtual environment that has been made in 3D using computer-generated graphics, right? And your reality. So it's a mixture of your near reality, right? So developers and creatives create virtual environments whereby they put you in that space and it will be as if you are in another place, but you are not actually because the tech, the gears, and the hardware are just playing with this, right? So it's something that is super amazing. The next part is augmented reality. I actually feel this technology will transform the way we are going to interact with our environment, right? Because it's not everybody that can afford a VR headset, but everybody has a mobile phone, everybody has an iPad, right? So AR is something that will transform the way we can get a lot of people into XR or into the metaverse, right? So AR is just a technology that is designed to work with your environment, right? It aligns with your real world and takes virtual objects, 3D objects, for you to interact with in your own environment. So imagine you are going to a location, right? And you are using Google Maps. I know Google just brought an update whereby you can have AR directions and guides in Google Maps. So if you are going somewhere, right, you have an arrow in front of you in AR that is directing you to the place you want to go to, which is super easy and you will not get lost basically. So for AR, it works with smart glasses, it works with mobile phones and hardware that gives you visibility and vision to see your environment with it. So this video is about the metaverse. It's just I know you guys are hearing about it. I'm also excited about it. I know everybody at Guzo Tech is also building something around it, right? So the metaverse is more like us having digital avatars interacting in digital environments as if we're all there, but we're all entering it with our headsets and our PCs, right? So I'm showing this video on what Facebook or Meta is currently working on with the metaverse called also creating a space called the Horizon, right? So it's a project that will be really, really impactful for anybody and also for the entire XR ecosystem. One, two, three,
Okay, bye.
Or not.
1, 2, 3, 4. Come on and play some more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on and play some more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on and play some more.
Sorry. So if you notice, everybody has an avatar. If you are in the metaverse, you have your own avatar, right? You can design it, you can customize it. So imagine your friend having his or her own avatar, and you guys are in a virtual space, right? You can play, you can go to different countries, you can basically do anything you want to do, right? So that's the feature of XR, and that's the feature of this technology. So next up is how you can become an AR VR developer, right? For me, when I started off, it was challenging because I did not have or I did not know a lot of people in the space, right? So what I usually did was I'll go on LinkedIn, right, and I would see somebody that I admire their work, right? I'll send them a DM and tell them I'm passionate about this technology and I want them to mentor me, right? A couple of them were nice to do that. A couple of them were kind of busy, which I understood, right? But for me, finding somebody to guide me during my journey, being an AR VR developer and building a business around it was very, very important. But for me, I feel the first thing you should do is you should be very, very passionate and self-driven. Because there'll be some days you will be like, why am I doing this? Or why am I building this technology? Because it can be draining at times, but you need something to push you, right? So you need to be passionate and be self-driven, right? VR is dynamic and it's something that can change over time, right? So you must have a why and a reason for building that career or building your career in VR and AR. So you basically have to have affirmations, right? I have an affirmation, a self-affirmation that I use that drives me to grow in terms of my skills, in terms of my community, in terms of making an impact, right? So you have to be passionate, you have to be self-driven, as it will help you to focus in building prototypes, having a good portfolio, making connections, and basically landing an amazing job in the XR space. So the first point is be passionate and be self-driven. The second point, very, very important, is you should know how to build your programming and 3D skills. You can't build a VR experience except you're building a no-code experience without programming and 3D, right? So for you to become an AI VR developer, you need to know your skill set in C++, in C Sharp, if you're using Unreal, or you're using Unity, and also have a couple of knowledge in JavaScript and Swift, right? It's very important. So, for example, I know Daniel from Guzo Tech is building with Unreal Engine, right? And I know a couple of guys are building with Unity, right? So those developers, they start off by having a single software that they focus on before moving to another software, right? So it's very important to start off from the software before you move to another one. So it will be easy for you to have a good expertise in that particular space before you move, right? So as an AR VR developer enthusiast, you must learn your coding skills very well. You don't need to be perfect, but know how to gather resources together and build experiences. So most of the tech products used so far to build VR AR experiences are basically popular already. We have the AR kit, we have Unity, C Sharp, Google VR, Unreal Engine, C++, the Oculus platform. You could also use Euphoria if you are building for AR, and also AR Core if you are also building for AR. Right. So just do a Google search on this platform and just take courses and tutorials and build. Right. If you're wondering who will employ you when you have like a good career or the needed skills, there are a couple of amazing companies already. We have Google, we have IKEA, we have Meta, we have some amazing companies out there. Even like is looking for developers in this space. So build your skill sets, be very good, right? You don't need to be perfect, but be very good. Share your knowledge, participate in open source projects, and just share what you are doing with the rest of the world. And you don't know who's watching and who might just give you a call to come and pick up an amazing job. So to add to that, you also need to focus on some key elements that are involved in being an amazing AR VR developer or building your career, right? So know some amazing programming language and skill sets. Know at least have basic experience in software design, user experience, so you don't create crappy experiences that will make people sick, right? VR sickness and all. So in terms of you should have good experience in 3D design and modeling, computer-aided designs, and VR operational tools. You should know how to use a VR headset, how to manage it, how to take care of it, because they are very expensive and you don't want to break it. Right? Also, an experience in video editing is good, but not necessarily needed. Right? And also, have experience in VR hardware and filming technologies. So if you're going into documentaries, you can implement VR into it. You can shoot with a 360 VR camera and we just have fun all the way. So in terms of survey to know which programming language to use, right? So a survey was done in 2017, and it was put that C Sharp, C, and C++ are the most used programming language for AI development. So that's like a focus for you already. You don't need to dive anywhere. Focus on C Sharp or C++ if you're working with Unreal Engine or Unity, right? And also, it's also recommended you know how to use some basic Google SDKs and also SDKs that are already available on those platforms that you're building with, right? You could start building, you don't need a perfect VR headset to build. You could use your Google Cardboard or your Google, or simple VR headsets can get you started with the technology. So the third one is your knowledge. You need to have hardware knowledge, right? Know your specs in terms of system specifications and hardware requirements for VR, right? So when I started with VR, I had a HP 2000, right, which was very, so at that time it was good, but currently it's slow because the processor cannot support a VR ready software, right, and it did not have a graphics card to support graphics and rendering in terms of 3D and if I'm also running any game engine, right? So you have to have at least the basic requirements is a Core i5, right, 4th gen, right, and also an AMD FX A350, right? You should also at least have an NVIDIA graphics card or AMD, right? So I'm more of NVIDIA than AMD, but a lot of guys like AMD. You should have at least from 6 gig RAM to 12. You can max it up to 32 if you want, right? But these are like the basic requirements if you have to run at least an efficient VR hardware system, and that will not give you issues building, right? But if you don't have access to this, it's fine. You can just reach out to any VR AR lab around you, right? You have a couple of them spread out across Africa, and you have access to a VR ready system and a couple of hardware to use. So talking about headsets, the journey has been amazing. We started off from the Google Cardboard to the Oculus developer kit to the Oculus Quest 1, Quest 2, right? The journey has been amazing. We have tons of them right now, and the prices are actually reducing by the day. So just try and see how you can lay your hands on any of them. It really help you in your career, right? Because You don't need to necessarily stress yourself in building and just viewing of the system. You can build and deploy immediately for your headset and engage with it. Most of them are not too expensive. Some are quite expensive, but just find the one that works with your budget and also works with any project you are working with. The fourth one is make or find assets. So a major problem for content developers and creatives in AR VR is finding the right assets, right? I know there are stores online that you can find assets for free or for sale, but they are not as specific as the project you are working on. So imagine you're working on something that's about Africa or African heritage. You cannot find most of those assets online. You have to build from scratch, right? So you have to have an experience in 3D modeling. If you don't, you could have somebody on your team or in your community or in your group that has that skill set to build 3D assets using Blender, Autodesk Maya, or 3D Max. It's very important, right? So make or find assets. You could also build your asset and sell, right? So that's more like a revenue earner for you, building your assets and selling on Sketchfab and also 3D asset stores that accept 3D content, right? It's also very important for you to have at least a basic understanding of how 3D modeling works. And the last and most important point is you should join and engage in a VR community, right? It's very important for you to join a VR community. When I started off, joining the community was an opportunity for me to know that this tech exists, and it gave me access to VR headsets and VR ready systems for me to build. Right, I was able to save up to buy my first VR headset. That's the first one. Right, so if I did not have access to a community, a network, and a group of people to mentor me, to guide me, I might not be here talking to you guys. Right, so you should join and engage with VR communities. There are a couple of them out there. Right, you don't need to be perfect to join a VR community. Just be focused, know what you're doing, and you will have access to resources. You can collaborate on projects, you can network, and you can even have internship positions. I know of a friend that had an internship role by just joining or being part of the community. Right? So join communities, participate in conferences, network. It's very important for you to network. Don't be shy when you're doing that, right? Be a beast in networking, right? Reach out to people, tell your story, sell your story, and just believe in yourself no matter what. You will definitely attain your goal, right? So don't be scared to ask any questions. Don't be scared of no, right? Don't be scared of disappointment or failure. Just be part of the community, grow yourself, grow your skill set, and you'll be the best version of yourself in the coming years. So I'll be sharing with you guys some communities you can join. All right, I'm already part of this community. That's why I'm sharing with you guys. It's something you can also join. The first one is the Global XR Conference. It's an open community whereby we share insights and experiences on the XR technology and its various forms, WebXR, AR, VR, and the rest, right? So you can just go to globalxrconference.com. You can join the Discord server. You can also prepare yourself for the conference that will be coming up at the end of the year. The next up is ARVR Africa. Right, it's a very important community here in Africa. They have meetups basically quarterly or sometimes monthly. I think one is coming up in Lagos by the end of this month, right? So you can just go to arvrafrica.com and learn about the community. Also have the VRARA community. It's like the largest community of professionals that are building content in the AR/VR space. They have a chapter here in Nigeria. Something you can also join anywhere in the world. Right? Just go to the VRARA.com. Next up is XR for Europe. Right? It's the European-based XR community, but it's open to all. You don't need to be an European to join. Right? As long as you're passionate about the tech, you have free access to join that community. We have Africa Comicade, amazing guys in the gaming space, right? Also sharing resources about XR, and the IVRPA.org, which is the International Virtual Reality Professionals Association. You don't need to be perfect to join. Just join, network, share experiences, and you're good to go. And finally, I'll be sharing with you guys some resources for you to get started, right? Because just like me, when I started off, I did not have access to some of this content. But over the years, a couple of friends have been able to curate these resources, and it's open to everyone to share and to enjoy, right? So if you can just go to this link, you have access to hundreds of resources that can get you started with VR and AR. Most of them are free, most of them are paid, right? But try and devote your time, try and devote resources to learn, right? For XR, it's not perfect. The industry is still a learning phase, it's still a learning process. So nobody can claim to be an expert in this space. We are all learning, we are all building, and it's a community effort, right? So just click on this link or type it in your URL, and you have access to these amazing resources that can get you started with XR. And don't be shy if you don't have a VR headset. I did not have when I started, right? As long as you have a passion, you have a dream, you're motivated, right? And you believe your future will definitely be bright, right? Just get started. No matter how crappy your system is, you can start and just grow from there, right? Get started, build, and just leverage on your community. I did, right? And it was good. You can do that also. And appreciate everyone that basically encourages you along the way. Right? For me, I always thank and appreciate everyone that supported me so far, and those that also support me in the coming years. Right? So I appreciate everybody. Be good to everybody and just learn. Right? Technology is amazing. You can do absolutely anything with it. Right? So just be focused. Right? You have access to hardware now in Goma. You can do anything you want to do. I know Kuzu Tech is going to support you guys all the way, right? So leverage on that support, leverage on that opportunity to learn about VR and AR. And you might be here next year sharing your experience and also speaking to amazing creatives that want to learn about technology. So if you're interested in reaching out to me, I'm available on LinkedIn at it's Arome Ibrahim. If you want to make inquiries or have any questions that you want me to attend to, you can shoot me an email at ibrahimarome@gmail.com. And I'm also available on WhatsApp with this number if you have any questions or any inquiries. Um, I think that's it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the session. And if you have any questions, please feel free to share. I'll definitely answer them immediately. And if you have any concerns, you're open to sharing also. Any feedback also will be appreciated. And I also say thank you so much for listening. And also, I want to say thank you to Guzo Tech, to Daniel and the entire team. And also thank you to Institut de Francais for the opportunity to support the XR ecosystem in Africa with resources and hardware. And we believe if we could have a lot of this, right, we could have the next Mark Zuckerberg from Africa, right? I believe that, right? So thank you so much for listening, and I'm open to questions.
Bartoluk. So this would be the last session of Arome. Thank you everyone for attending here, and we'd like to thank Institut Francais di Goma for supporting this entire VR month, and I am live from Guzo Technologies headquarters, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Thank you very much all for attending, and everyone from Institut Francais attending this event. Thank you very much for being here. Now it's a Q&A session. We have a question from Teams. I think you can hear me, right, Arome?
Yes, I can hear you.
So Tim's is asking, like, how would you support a startup or developer or researcher from Goma who wants to launch themselves in the field of AR, VR? What would you bring for their growth?
So first of all, I think you guys already have the support already. Right? You have the hub, which is equipped with VR and hardware. And you also have Google Tech, right? They're doing support you like what you need. So you can reach out to them and share your needs with us, the ecosystem partners across Africa. So what I think you guys need to have a good product, a good experience that you can share, and to have a good product and experience that you have been working on, just going to be perfect, right? But it's something you can share with the rest of the world. That's very important. And also, secondly, is to try and have a good team. Yeah? Your team should complement each other. Right? So, just a good product, a good experience, structure your team, operate company, and that will bring you to resources and funding that we needed to make your project.
Thank you very much, Arome. So if anyone has a question or an idea popping up, it's I think time to actually reach us out in the comment section. Then I would ask Arome, then he'd get back to us. At the meantime, if you have any questions coming here and then, you could actually contact him through his contacts. But at the meantime, he'd respond live from Nigeria. Just hit us in the comment section. So at the meantime, I think you're mentioning about the project of Virtuality Africa. So about that project, I wanted to know how much we have done and how many possibilities that we have in the Africa, because I feel like Africa is a country of heritage, a lot of unvisited historical sites, and even we don't even know some of them. But how do you see that opportunity, and how do you think that would actually channel us into knowing each other and into filling up the entire tourism sector with the VR technology?
That's a very, very good question. Thank you so much. So let me give you some stats, right? In Nigeria, we have close to 16 UNESCO heritage sites, right? And we have 2 that are basically on the list, right? On the global list of UNESCO heritage sites. So imagine most of our youths or millennials have never been to these places in their lifetime, right? And some of them might not have access to that, right? So if we could digitize some of these spaces, some of these environments, and have like a platform whereby anybody anywhere can learn about the African arts and culture and heritage, I feel we'll be able to change the narrative that people have about Africa. I know you guys are doing amazing stuff in Utopia. I've seen your works, I've seen your projects, and I feel if we could all collaborate and partner, it would be a good deal to showcase Africa to the world.
VR AR development and equipment. Do you think the initial cost is high for VR development and equipment?
I would say the cost of a VR headset is still very expensive for most people here in Africa, right? And it's something that is problematic because you have people that want to build with VR and AR, and you have people that don't have access to hardware, right? Or if we could have a platform where a synergy whereby most of these people that know this tech, have the knowledge, can have access to hardware, right? I believe we would have more creatives, more developers, and basically that will basically mean more income for them, and they can all afford the VR headsets. And also, if you have more companies that are funding the XR space, right, we would have more hardwares, more headwares, and also being produced, right? So I believe in the future, the price of VR headset will basically come down, and also if that doesn't happen, I believe the AR space will be something that would basically get more people into the XR environment. So pricing is still high for XR, and hardware is still very expensive. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't build, right? You can build, you can deploy, and you can also make money from it and get your own hardware. So with time, we would have, if possible, I know it's already done. We have a startup in South Africa that built their own VR headset, right, from scratch, right? So it's something that is already in the works, and with time, we would have a lot of headsets that are very cheap.
So before we finalize our Q&A session, if you have any questions, drop a comment in the comment section, then I'll get back to Arome. In the meantime, I feel like a lot of questions are being answered, but if you feel like you haven't answered your question yet, you could actually reach out to Arome or in our comment section so that we could actually discuss it here. It's more of a discussion forum, not only a question as invited. So Arome, what's your take on the metaverse though?
Right? The possibilities are endless. Sometimes I overthink it, right? Because it's crazy, right? But I feel with time, the buzz. So for now, what we're seeing is the buzz, right? But with time, we start seeing actual production and actual projects. But what I want is for Africa to have a voice in this build-up of the metaverse, and I'll be glad to support startups, right, to share their stories and share their experiences as they build for the metaverse, right? It's super fun, it's super amazing, but Africa needs to be there, right?
That's really awesome. So I feel like everyone's satisfied. That was actually a lot of information, a lot of informative thing that you told us, because most of the time it's confusing. It's a new sector. No one knows where to start and how to start and what are the things that are stopped. So passion, I feel like also passion without discipline is not going to work out. So I feel like having a passion is really awesome, but at the meantime, being disciplined and working hard towards it is also essential, because I'm here at Guzo Technologies, you're there from Nigeria, and we have an Institute of Francis from Goma, so everything has a struggle. So I feel like everyone should struggle. It's not something we just calculate and wake up someday and, you know, I'm going to open this. It's kind of a process, so it comes with a lot of process. So I feel like if you have any advice to the youth, I mean, you know, when everyone thinks of a startup and the actual startup and the life of a startup is different. So if you have anything to say about this, you could actually advise the youth.
I would say if I'm advising myself maybe 4 years back, right? Just start. You don't need to be perfect, just start, right? Start and believe in yourself. And just like you said, be very disciplined. Be focused, and just believe you can change the world, right? And you can make an impact no matter where you are.
Perfect, Arome. I don't see no questions in the comment section. Looks like everyone's satisfied. So this is our speaker session. It's going to be the last. We're going to have another one after a few minutes or hours. So tune in, stay in the loop. So we'll get back to you soon enough. At the meantime, we love to thank Arome Ibrahim. Thank you very much, Ashanti. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. So everyone from Institute of Francis, thank you very much for being here. We also have another session coming up. Do not stay seated. Do not leave your seats.
Hello everyone, this is the VR month in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Unique event of its genre in this country. It is the first that is going to be held in the city of Goma in the eastern part of Congo. Amazing place. There will be different type of event. There will be live events where we will have to gather together to have this immersive experience. There will also be an online event where we are gathering different profile, the top of the notch of Africa. They will come from Egypt to Kenya, from Nigeria. They will be talking to you about a wide range of topics, unique topics, from how to build a studio to how to build content and how to immerse people in this kind of VR, what is happening in the metaverse and how to develop it. I'm inviting all of you to join this event. We will share with you this link where you can go and register so that you can be part of this event. We welcome all of you and we can't wait to see you.